Mike Tyson is one of the most iconic and dangerous boxers the world has ever seen. During his prime, he dominated the heavyweight division like no other. His explosive power and fierce fighting style left his opponents with little chance of walking away unscathed. Yet, despite his reputation as the baddest man on the planet, there were always a few fighters who underestimated him. They thought they had what it took to beat Tyson, but when they stepped into the ring, reality hit hard, literally. In this video, we're going to relive some of Mike Tyson's greatest moments when cocky opponents learned the hard way that facing Iron Mike wasn't as easy as they imagined. Get ready to witness the jaw-dropping action only here on Sports Frenzy TV. Hey sports fans! Let's start with Tyson's comeback fight in 1995 after being paroled from prison. His second opponent post-prison was Buster Mathis Jr. This was no ordinary fight. Mathis Jr. was a rising star, the son of former heavyweight boxer Buster Mathis, and he came into the bout with a clean record of 20-0. Before the fight, Mathis Jr. was extremely confident, dismissing Tyson as a threat. He believed that Tyson's time was over and that he could handle the power and aggression Tyson was known for. Mathis Jr. managed to put up a good fight in the beginning. He used close-range tactics to prevent Tyson from unloading those devastating power shots we all know so well. But as always with Tyson, it was only a matter of time before the cracks began to show. In the third round, Tyson found his moment. With a series of brutal right uppercuts, he sent Mathis crashing to the canvas, reminding the world that Tyson's knockout power hadn't gone anywhere. Mathis may have come into the ring undefeated, but he left humbled and destroyed, like so many others before him. Next up, let's talk about Tony Tubbs. In 1988, Tyson faced Tubbs, a former WBA champion with an impressive career behind him. As an amateur, Tubbs had won a gold medal at the World Cup and entered the professional scene with a record that caught everyone's attention. By the time he faced Tyson, Tubbs had only lost one fight in his career. But despite this impressive background, Tubbs didn't just see himself as a contender. He saw himself as the better fighter. Tubbs believed that his speed and boxing ability could outmatch Tyson's raw power. For a brief moment, it seemed like he might be able to hold his own, as he traded punches with Tyson in the first round. He landed a few decent jabs and even avoided some of Tyson's signature hooks. But as round 2 came to an end, Tyson delivered a left hook that sent Tubbs straight to the canvas. The fight was over, and Tubbs' confidence, like so many others, had been misplaced. Tyson's sheer power once again proved to be too much for any boxer who dared to stand in front of him. After his victory over Tony Tucker in 1987 to become the undisputed heavyweight champion, Tyson's first title defense came against Tyrell Biggs. Now, Biggs wasn't just any challenger. He had an undefeated record, had won a gold medal in the 1984 Olympics, and, unlike Tyson, had qualified for the US boxing team. Biggs had all the confidence in the world heading into the fight, believing that he could outbox Tyson and pull off the upset. Biggs tried to use his reach and speed to stay away from Tyson, working the jab and moving around the ring to avoid the devastating power shots that had become Tyson's signature. It worked for a little while, but by the later rounds, Tyson had worn him down. The turning point came in round 7 when Tyson landed a brutal left hook that sent Biggs tumbling backward. Biggs managed to get up, but Tyson wasn't done. A relentless barrage of punches followed, and Biggs went down again. The fight was called, and Tyson's reign as the undisputed champion continued. Now let's fast forward to 1996, when Tyson challenged Frank Bruno for the WBC heavyweight title. This was actually a rematch between the two fighters. They had first met 7 years earlier, and Bruno had lost to Tyson. But by the time the rematch rolled around, Bruno was the reigning WBC champion and believed that things would be different this time. He had always been known for his punching power, and he was convinced that Tyson's time had passed. Bruno talked a big game, claiming that he was going to knock Tyson out and that this fight would be the end of Tyson's comeback story. But when the fight started, it was clear that Bruno was in over his head. Tyson, as always, came out aggressive, and it didn't take long for Bruno to realize he was in trouble. In the third round, Tyson unloaded a series of unanswered punches, culminating in a devastating combination that sent Bruno crashing into the ropes. The referee stepped in and the fight was over. Tyson had reclaimed the WBC title, and Bruno had learned the hard way that Tyson was still the most dangerous man in boxing. One of Tyson's most personal fights came in 1988 against Larry Holmes. Holmes was a former world champion known for being one of the most dominant heavyweights in the 1970s and 1980s. But what made this fight personal was the fact that Holmes had previously beaten Muhammad Ali, Tyson's hero and greatest influence in boxing. Holmes had retired, but he came out of retirement to challenge Tyson, promising to knock him out and prove that the younger generation of fighters couldn't match his experience. Holmes tried to use his reach and jab to keep Tyson at bay, but it was clear from the start that he wasn't prepared for the speed and power of the younger champion. Tyson dominated the early rounds, and in the fourth round, Holmes was sent to the canvas with a crushing right hand. Holmes got up, but Tyson wasn't finished. He knocked Holmes down 2 more times, making this the only stoppage loss of Holmes' long career. Tyson had avenged his hero, and Holmes had joined the growing list of fighters who underestimated the young champion. So what's the takeaway from all these moments? Time and time again, Mike Tyson proved that no matter how confident or skilled his opponents were, it wasn't enough to stop his raw power and relentless aggression. Fighters came into the ring thinking they had a plan, thinking they could beat Tyson by outboxing him or by avoiding his punches, but once they felt the force of his punches, their confidence vanished. These aren't just boxing matches. They're lessons in what happens when someone underestimates one of the most powerful fighters in the history of the sport. Tyson's career is filled with moments where he humbled opponents who thought they could stand toe-to-toe with him. Whether it was the speed of his uppercuts or the accuracy of his hooks, Tyson showed the world why he's considered one of the greatest heavyweights of all time. And that's it, a collection of moments when Tyson's opponents realized, often too late, that they were in way over their heads. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on more amazing content. Thanks for watching!